You saw yourself building something here, and you saw what it could become because you saw what other people could do. You're like, I could do this too. But as soon as you start making some money, guess what your mind does? As soon as you start making some money, you get busy managing the money and not building the business, building the vision. That's the problem. Now your mind starts to get limited. First, who you are is not what you do. You're not an Airbnb coach. You're you that happens to be doing Airbnb coaching. If you get too caught up with trying to identify with being something, like an identity like, oh, I am what I do, or doing something, I would say, you'll never find any peace in it because you always find something wrong or something better you could be doing to say you are. Just look at it this way. I'm a human being. Human beings are the most sophisticated, powerful beings and creatures in existence. So far, until you prove aliens are real, are the only thing in the animal kingdom and in the world. And as a human being, I've decided to do some Airbnb coaching. You understand? That's how you look at it. Other thing. This is gonna be really powerful. It's not that you got into business to become successful so you can work less. The question isn't how we work less. The question is how do we live more? Your mind is too focused on the negative frame of this all. Working less doesn't bring you more joy. Let's say I gave you $10 million in both your bank accounts right now, took your business and all your businesses away from you. What will you do with yourself? Go to the gym, hang out with some friends? How many times can you have sex with your girlfriend before you start getting tired of it? What would you do? Seriously. I told you I give you 10 million each, but I take away your ability to work on anything. You can't write a book. You can't create content. You can't build business, nothing. You would say, no. I'd rather let me live. Let me do something with myself. So the question isn't how do I work less? The question is how do I live more? Now we ask ourselves, well, aren't you living? What does living mean? Isn't living more having something you're working towards in your life that makes everything you do meaningful? You know, most of the people that they grow up around poverty and they get raised in poverty, and the only people that teach them anything have never achieved anything in their own life. They just kind of settle for whatever. They believe the paradigm of what they grow up in is that I want freedom, right? I want some freedom. What do they think freedom is? Not having to work for money. And so they buy all these different things. How do I make money? Not from my job. Make more money than what I could in my job so I could not work anymore because I want freedom. They think the absence of work means freedom, and it doesn't. That's the ultimate prison, isn't it? When you got nothing to do with yourself. Just stay with me here. Real freedom is being chained to a purpose. Real freedom is when you feel like your entire life has a meaning, a purpose. So the first principle that Napoleon Hill talks about, after 500 people he studied, which are the people that shape this world today, they all have one thing in common. They have a definite major purpose, which is another word for a vision in life. This idea for what they're building in their life that determines who they are. You can tell a lot about a person by how big they think and the vision they have for themselves in life. And if they don't have one, like I said, you can tell a lot about a person. So stop focusing on how to work less, because if you keep thinking this way, you're going to keep shrinking your mind and limiting it. And the more limitation you put on your mind, the less you're going to have and the more problems you're going to have. Start asking yourself, how do I live more? And then first define, what does it mean to live more for me? See, for some people, working 15 hours a day on their business, that's living, man. Look at Alex Ramosi. He's living. He doesn't want anyone telling him otherwise. He loves what he's doing. Other people, they'll want to work 1 hour a day and they'll go off and they'll be with their kids all day. No problem. That's beautiful. That's living for them. Both of them, though, are living very successfully because they're very happy with their life, because they understand and they've defined what living more for them means. So a few things we need to take from this. It's not working less, it's living more. Second, freedom is not having nothing to do. It's only doing what you want to do. If a part of only doing what you want to do is building something, creating wealth, being happy about what you built, working with people, then awesome. Why would you want to spend less time doing this? In this way, it's not work, is it? It is a part of life what you're working on. It's not wrong how you're thinking. I want to be clear. I'm not correcting you in any way. I just want to expand your thinking, because the way you think, what you're doing is you're carrying over the mentality you built growing up and in your job right now. As your business on the side is making money and growing, you're carrying over the mentality of the job you have into the business you have. And there are two different worlds of living, guys. You got into your job to make money. If you get into business for the same reason, you're just going to end up with more money and the same kind of outcome. You're going to be like, how do I work less in this job? Well, if you were just going to do it for the job, you might as well stay in the current one. It's paying you more. You go, Armin, don't say that. That freaks me out, because the reason I started the business was very selfish. I just wanted to make some money. No problem. I'll help you. I'll help you get out of this. Don't worry. Let me tell you what you need to do. We all fall for this trap, by the way. Don't worry. You're not alone. We all start with some idea, something that excites us. And part of the motivation is how much money we'll make from it. That's good too. But what you are not realizing and remembering is that when you started the idea, you believed in yourself. You believed you could. So the actual bigger motivation for starting this business was that you saw yourself doing something more because you felt like you were meant to do more. It was just very exciting to know you could also get rich along the process. That was a part of the equation, because if you didn't believe in yourself, it wouldn't matter how much money you thought this could make, you wouldn't do it. So there was a vision you started with. You start to look at your days and your work and your business as a logical equation. Okay, I'm putting this much time in, but I'm only making this much out, and this person is really annoying. We need better leads. This is not why you got into it. And when you lose sight of the why you got into it, the what you're doing and how you're doing it is all empty and means nothing anymore. I want to make this very clear. To live a successful life, you need to make yourself happy with what you have. Everyone could be unsatisfied with what they have. Everyone could be happy with having more, wanting more. But I read somewhere something so beautiful, man. The poorest person is not the person who doesn't have enough. It's the one who wants too much. You can be poor and still rich at the same time.